Hey, it's Bill here, and here's my thoughts on a Vegas 3-1 victory over the Leafs. Well, again, I'm in this situation where I did not watch the game live. I was playing darts last night, and by the time I got home, I was too tired. I saw a little bit of the first period, and I went to bed, got up early this morning, and then watched the game full. I was able to avoid the score, so it was fantastic, but the result wasn't fantastic, 3-1. A couple things that we're going to pull out of this game. First of all, Samsonov. Wow, this is impressive. I know it's a loss, it's 3-1, but this game is blowing out the door if he doesn't show up. The other things that I thought were positive, we'll give the positives first, right? Try to keep it a little bit upbeat. The effort wasn't horrible, other than a couple things that I'm going to point out in just a second. It wasn't a horrible effort. The Vegas Knights are, a good team. And you could see them dominating in terms of skating, hitting. They were like the third, fourth line for Toronto was absolutely useless, but whatever. I did like Matthews' game, even though it was got a little bit hairy at times. But, the guy's just getting robbed off the post in that one shift. That one shift where they had 90 seconds in the end. That's the shifts that you expect out of this line. If I'm going to keep going on that line, Marner, way too cute. So I'm going to get a little negative now. What are you doing? He's got moves out of his yin-yang, but it accomplishes absolutely nothing. The man can't shoot, and so he tries to make these fancy plays. Riley, the same thing. I don't get it. What is wrong with throwing it on the net? I don't understand this. Half the time, Marner just gives it away, or they get some kind of crap opportunity shot where they had a better opportunity before. I don't get it. Second line, I know they scored a goal, and I thought Robertson played a pretty good game. But this second line, it has to change. And we'll get into that in just a second. We talk about the goals that were scored against the Leafs. It's atrocious. John Tavares can't skate. This is terrible to watch. It's terrible. So the first period starts off, they didn't show up. And it was about 6 minutes of blitz. And Phil Kessel scores, and I started laughing. Yeah, he ties a record, scores his 400th goal. What else is new? That is what to expect in the game. I don't know what his goal thing was, but certainly if you bet it, it probably was plus something. And then they call it off for an offside. That to me is probably a cheesy offside. I didn't get into the technical terms, but there's no doubt the player bumped him. The player at the blue line, I think it was Carlson, and he did a spin around. He didn't get any advantage by getting the zone. He was actually dead stopped. So anyways, they take away that goal. You get a timeout. Okay, time to calm down, everybody. Let's just chill out. And 13 or 30 seconds later, it's in the net again. Okay, so instead of, Kessel getting a goal, I guess Kessel doesn't get a goal. But again, just all out front of the net, nonsense, losing battles. I will say this, I thought the defense was not as good tonight as they have been. I don't think it's because of Muzzin if anyone's getting in there. But again, you see Sandin and Hall had a tough night for me. Riley and Brody were really, really bad. Giordano and Mete. Mete had one horrible giveaway, but overall they were the most consistent of the bunch. But, the forwards, there was a game plan against the Leafs. Get it deep and hit them and outskate them and wait for them to turn it over at the blue line, which the Leafs are just more than willing to do. I don't understand this team with their giveaways. It's insane. Anyways, we get into the start of the second period. So you started off the first period horribly. Horrible start in the first period. I'm going to get into a little diatribe about John Tavares here. John Tavares, I don't like him. I don't think he's a very good player. I think he's an okay a player that has hands in front of the net, but he reminds me of Dave. Well, he doesn't remind me of Dave Andreychuk, because Dave Andreychuk was actually tall and set up routes and battled people. But his skating reminds me of Dave Andreychuk. They got to put this guy on the wing. You got to put the guy on the wing. It's not even a question anymore. He can't skate. He can't keep up with anybody. It's embarrassing. Put Nylander at center, put Tavares in the wing, then he doesn't have to do all this stuff because he can't do it. I want you to take a look at this play in the second period. You've just had a horrible start to the first period. You throw your captain on for the second period start, and this is what you get. Thoughts? You lose a draw. No, I recall playing hockey. I didn't play center very often, but if you lose the draw, you take the man. You take your centerman. Chandler Stevenson just got to go for a loop around the ice, and Tavares just sat there. He didn't even move after losing the draw. Did not move. Morgan Riley, I don't know where he's going. He's trying to pick off a pass off the boards. These are two of your leaders. Tavares didn't even move for about 15 seconds. And in they go, Chandler Stevenson. Like, that's how you start off the period. 7 seconds in, you're giving up a breakaway. Like, what are you doing? Like this, and you know what? If that would have been Engvall, if that would have been Kerfoot or Bunting, they're sitting. How do you not sit the guy after doing that? Anyway, Samsonov stands on his head for this first 5 minutes of the second period, and then all of a sudden the Leafs start turning it around. To me, beauty goal by Nylander, assisted by Tavares. Yeah, assisted by Tavares. But let's see, who did the work? Nick Robertson got destroyed on the boards. He went in there, smallest guy in the team, and got flattened. And because he got flattened and battled the puck skipped loose. Tavares won it? No, it came out. He makes a nice pass. I'll give him that to Nylander. They tie it 1-1. Okay. Horrible start to the second period. And I thought for the rest of the second period, the Leafs started pouring it on. Then let's go to the third period. And how do you think the Leafs started off the third period? They start the same bloody line that couldn't get it done in the first or the second. And they come back with them in the third. And before you know it, it is a gong show in the Leafs zone. And who's out front of the net battling Chandler Stevenson for the puck? The same guy I mentioned who can't skate. And Chandler Stevenson beats him for the puck and puts it home. 2-1. Watch the second goal. Watch who's in front of the net. That's Tavares getting out-battled by Chandler Stevenson. I don't know what Chandler Stevenson makes. I'm going to guess it's around the $4 million mark. There's a $7 million difference between two players battling for a puck and the one that you expect to win it don't win it. So please, this is where he cannot be a centerman. Don't put Tavares where he'd be unsuccessful. You paid $11 million for him, Dubas. That's a bonehead move. Like, in terms of moves, that's bonehead. And then you decide, okay, let's put him at center. And look what happens. Put a different center. Put him on the wing. I don't care if it's Kerfoot. I don't care if it's Nylander. Put him on the wing. When he's on the wing, you don't have to worry about him as much. I don't understand why this concept is so tough. I don't. Tavares is not a good center. He's not. Contrary to popular belief. Watch the clip I just showed you, and watch the goal, the second goal for the Vegas. They said, tell me he's a defensive stalwart. F you. After that, the game was over. I didn't like the response. They got a power play at the end with an empty net, and again, the same nonsense. Pass it around, look for the perfect play. Yeah, perfect play. Got to be perfect. I don't understand that. Power play's disgrace. It's awful. Now you got Matthews at the point. What? Put him on a one-timer. Anyways, I don't know who's doing the power plays in Maholtra. I don't know. But the power play's not very good. But I didn't think the response was very good. Samsonov stood on his head. This game could have been a lot worse. And then, you get into the next thing, which is just so great because you knew an ex-Leaf was going to score. Mike Amadella or whatever his name is. I remember him on the Leafs for about a cup of coffee last year. And he gets alone in, again, defensive breakdown. Unbelievable. Puts it in, make it 3-1. There's no coming back from that. So, again, at the end of the day, there were a couple good shifts in the Matthews line. But I'm telling you, what I took out of this game is John Tavares cannot be a centerman. He's not a centerman. Put him on wing for God's sakes. Anyways, I think they play on Thursday, and again, I think it's a late game at least, but guess what? I'll probably have to watch it the next day. Maybe Saturday. No, Saturday. I'll probably have to watch it a little bit after, or maybe I'll watch the game, hopefully. Anyways, hope you enjoyed the video. Tavares to the wing, please. Cheers.